Welcome, everybody. This event is being recorded and will be posted on our YouTube channel along with our LinkedIn. The reality is that there is power in awareness, in building clarity about your journey and what you're going to do with your path, your career, and your life in general. Only 1 to 5 people aged 12 to 26 have a clear vision where they want to go, and nearly 80% of people of all ages don't really know what they're passionate about. One of the things that I really love about coaching is that you can get to this place of build this life that you want, that you were not aware that even existed. That is extremely powerful. And sometimes making powerful questions is the way to drive meaningful change. Questions like the one you see below. By the way, anyone interested with the presentation, the slides, I can share it if you just send me a kind email requesting it so you can go over this again. But this event is also going to be recorded for those who needs to watch it at a later time. One of the principles that has been a game changer for me in medical decision making, going back to the concept of we can do anything but not everything, is applying the 80-20 rules, the Pareto principle. And a few of the ways I have implemented this rule is in the following. 80% of what you achieve in your career will come just from 20% of the effort you put in. The question, what of these two are you putting more effort towards? As you're doing the 20% or more the 80%. Identify and focus on the 20% of activities that will make impact, a most significant impact on your career, like networking, obtaining strategic certifications when you need to, or investing in a mentorship program. Once again, Richard Koch, the author of the book 80-20, focus on the vital few, but not the trivial many. This is a powerful concept for those looking at a career change or transition. 80% of your job opportunity will come just from 20% of your network connection. And I'm going to share a story to elaborate and expand on this. I was recently trying to expand my telemedicine presence and portfolio, and I was struggling not getting the best opportunities and position based upon what I want, what I was looking for, even the income that I was planning on getting. I feel like I was just applying, nothing was coming through until I decided to apply this rule. I focused on that 20% of both meaningful company, which I did have amazing contacts, even some of them owners of some of these new telemedicine company or investors. When I start focusing on that, I can tell you, I spent nearly 10 months trying to get the position I wanted, and it took me nearly 6 weeks just to get to the one that I truly now enjoy working for and working with, and we're becoming even business partners. So those are the things that they're very powerful and concept that you can apply to your life. This is another framework that I want to share with you that I believe is crucial, and is a decision-making roadmap. The first one, again, is clarity. That's what I love about coaching, because you can get to this point of clarity. I like to reflect on my goals, values, and priority. That simplify the process and make it be laser focused on what I really want to accomplish. All decisions should be done in writing. That will help you gain clarity. One of the tools that I implement, and I have one of the resources on A Doctor's Journey, is a decision journal. It's a process that is well described how you can get to this specific best decision possible for what you are seeking. You need to understand that decisions are made on probability. There will never be 100% certainty. So that's where due diligence, all the hard work you have making up and come up with all the information you need to make the decision, needs to meet decisiveness. You need to reach a point where what you need is just to decide and take action. That's the part we'll see a lot of physicians in some of the entrepreneur space, that they're coming out of curiosity. They're intrigued about what is out there, but they never take that leap to make that first step toward really changing, either building their businesses, going to make changes on their schedule at work. The spectrum is quite broad of the decisions we need to make to adjust our life to our work, the so-called work-life balance. All decision needs to be a clarification of what you value. And that's something, if you detour from what you value the most, it will lead to probably decisions that don't mirror what you want and ended up causing problems down the road. I have coached physicians that have been on positions for years and getting burned out in the process and dissatisfied, even of the practice of medicine in general. And maybe what they needed is just to have that level of clarity of what was the most important for them. I'm going to give you another application of the 80-20 rule that for me has been mind-blowing and even a game changer in a lot of decisions, even the investments that I have done. Gather 80% of the data to perform 80% of the analysis in the first 20% of the time that you have available to make the decision, and make that decision 100% of the time with 100% of confidence that the decision is right. There is a lot of backup research that by using this simple yet powerful, for some even hard to believe, rule that you can apply to important decisions for your life. We're going to segue into mental fitness, which we're going to focus on for today. And mental fitness is the capacity you have to respond to life's challenges with positivity rather than negativity mindset. Peak performance has been my main focus in my life, in my business for the past 12 to 18 months. Get to this point of flow, give you 150% of the time at will when I need it. And mental fitness and positive intelligence has been one of the tools that I have used to get to that place. And it gives you healthy relationships. There is a lot of backup research. What I love about this research is that it implies executive and professional decisions, but also in parenting and peak performer athletes. So those are the areas that raised my curiosity. And when I saw that much backup research, it became a very passion of mine to learn more about what positive intelligence can do to me, my life, and my family. Now, I'm going to bring this question. Do we need negative emotion? And the answer is it's part of life, right? If there's 50-50 in life coaching, we learn 50% positive, 50% negative. The issue with negative emotion is when humans, unfortunately, we have a negativity bias. We always have a lens of negativity where we see things. Unfortunately, we have a confirmation bias too. So our brain always tries to justify how they're seeing things. And that blurry our vision, narrow our vision. So to me, the way I see it, negative emotions are good to build awareness of something that might need to change, something that you might need to act upon. But the problem is when you ruminate on that over and over again, because believe me, my friends, if you remain in negative emotion, you are what is called in a saboteur stage. The decisions you're going to make based upon it most likely are not going to be the best for you, for your life, for your career. Staying in negative emotion hurts your ability to see clearly and respond with empathy, curiosity, creativity, or laser-focused action. That's the so-called the judge. That negative chatter, that inner critic that we all have. The question is how loud it is and how much can affect your life. I will always advise to anyone getting into positive intelligence and coaching in general to be aware of it. It will find faults in yourself, others, and your circumstances, will cause disappointment, anger, regret, guilt, shame, or anxiety. And put a name on it. Mine is called the Terminator, kill no matter what. And I've been able to decrease the loudness of the Terminator in my life, but there's always going to be with me, as it's always going to be with you. These are the most important lines. We are high achievers. Physicians are high achievers, and they feel that they need that to push them to get better and be better. There are lies like, without me pushing you, you will get lazy or complacent. Without me punishing you for mistake, you will not learn from them. Without me scaring you about bad outcomes, you will not work hard to prevent them. Without me judging others, you will lose objectivity and not protect your self-interest. Those are the lies that the judge keeps telling you. And I'm here to tell you that is absolutely not true. I've been focused my life for the past 18 months or more, not in doing more, but actually doing less, but accomplishing more in my journey. Remember that these impacts the ones around you. And the saboteur has different strength from minimal to the highest possible. Believe me, I can see it. I have seen amazing people, high achiever that has a very strong saboteur that by your boxes, you might look like they're very successful, but they are not happy. So let's talk briefly about mindset, because in coaching, we focus a lot about our thought processing, right? And how be aware of how our thoughts eventually will make you what we become in life, in our careers. So we become what we think, but we don't have to believe everything we think. Again, we see how humanity has a negativity bias and a confirmation bias, and we need to be mindful and aware of it. When it's affecting your life and your profession, that's when it becomes a problem, and it blurs your vision to an extent that you don't make the best decision for you. Recurrent thoughts will eventually become belief, and going back to learned helplessness, you truly believe there's nothing, that you don't have choices, there's not much you can do to change what's happening around you. Believe me, there's always a choice. You always have a choice. Going back to the part of negativity, positive intelligence, and saboteur and judge, we need to be mindful of the fact that we need emotions. Unfortunately, you can numb them as much as you want, buffering in distractions, social media, and so on and so forth, but it's impossible to make a decision without emotion. We just use logic to reason ourselves toward the decision, but the actual decision is governed by my emotions. So learning about our emotional state becomes crucial for us to understand what is the best way to drive meaningful change to our life and personal growth. This is said by Ray Dalio. The biggest threat to a good decision is not knowing actually what to do, but making it in the context of a harmful emotion. So let's do this simple exercise that I use with some of my coaching clients. In fact, we do it in a more extended way, but this is a very simple way to build awareness, positivity, to be grateful, but at the same time, to be setting meaningful goals toward what you want to do. I will ask you to list 3 things that you want, but you already have. And I will ask you to write 3 things that you want, but you don't have yet. So you will spend some time doing this exercise. You can do it at your leisure, but the yet has been a powerful tool for me. I used to say a lot of, I cannot do this yet. I don't know this yet. I cannot build this platform yet. I'm learning, I'm curious, and I'm growing. Be mindful of the language you use. There are ways you can build more your inner wisdom and turn down your inner critic, meaning turn down your saboteur or the judge and turn up the sage. You need to weaken your saboteur, strengthen your PQ brain. That's neuroanatomy. Even there are areas of your brain that will be activated when you're in a negative versus a positive mood, and you can strengthen your sage. We want to grow those muscles, but more important, we want to have them ready when you're going through challenging times. That's when becomes things more interesting, because in time of challenges, when you put to the test all the training that you are doing. Those are 9 different types of judge. You can do the PQ assessment, which is part of the tools and resources we have available at A Doctor's Journey, and some of you have received by email, and you will have a report like the one at the right. We have an amazing resource that you can get where you can analyze what are the top 3 or 4 saboteurs, and those be mindful of who they are, what they do, and how you can overcome them. It could be mind-blowing and game changer for most. The saboteur will motivate you through negative emotion, where the sage will do it through positive emotion. Saboteur, fear, stress, anger, guilt, shame, insecurity. Sage, empathy, curiosity, creativity, passion, and purpose. Once again, going back to anatomy, neuroanatomy, there are different areas of the brain tagged to each of them. Saboteur mode, negativity, brainstem, limbic system, parts of the left brain, where sage, middle prefrontal cortex, empathy, circuitry, and even parts of the right brain. Going back to what I was mentioning, a lot of hyperachievers, more in corporate, they have high saboteur score levels. And even though they might generate success, it will never generate happiness. That's something that is important to understand. The sage will give you the highest success, but also sustain happiness. The sage, which is your inner wisdom instead of your inner critic, lives in regions of your brain associated with positive emotions, with peace and calm, clear-headed focus, creativity, and able to see the big picture for your life. You know, the sage perspective is that every outcome or circumstance can turn into a gift and opportunity for you and for your life. I know it sounds challenging because we all have been going through different phases. Life is in seasons, right? And there are a lot of us that have struggled with hardship that we feel like, how can I learn from this? How can I feel contentment on it? But believe me, when you get so deep into the sage perspective, there's always a lesson that you can learn. There is always an opportunity for growth that you can have for each of the challenge, no matter what the challenging is. So I'm going to give you these 3 gift techniques, which is another exercise you can do on your own. You're going to list 3 bad situations, quote, or challenge or struggle that you're going through. You're going to spend some time to reflect upon how this can be turned into a gift or opportunity, into something that can help you grow and make you a better human being. When you do, you see how when you tap into areas of your brain that you are not being using before, and now you start using, you start coming up and brainstorming ideas that really, truly make you change perspective about how your life situation truly is. Because at the end of the day, it's all about perspective. True, actually, is a matter of depending on what angle you're using to view it. And what I like, if you want to get something from today's event, is precisely that you open your eyes to different angles to see the same situation that you're going through. Going back to how can you come up with this sage perspective and implement it in the challenge you have? What can I learn from this? How can I turn this into opportunity? What I'm willing to do to make it the way I want it. What I'm willing to stop doing to make it the way I want it. It's not just about adding. It's about subtraction. That's one of the things sometimes we get blurry. We just think on terms of, okay, I want to build this new company. I'm going to get this new job. And we start adding, these are the number of tasks, which I'm all for it. I like to break it down into small pieces and you can start putting timelines to each of them until you reach the goals you're seeking. But sometimes we don't spend enough time to say what I need to stop doing also to make this happen. What behaviors will support, what routines will support this journey, this outcome that I'm trying to get through. But also, what are the things that I need to stop in order to do it? And how can I make it fun? And this has been one of the realizations I have. And I'm very excited to say that I'm still enjoy practicing medicine. I'm still enjoy being a hospitalist, which I still work less than before, but still do. I still do clinical practice and I still enjoy the practice of medicine. And I have built this life that I enjoy doing it. Took me a while to figure things out. And that's one of the things I love about mentoring, about coaching, about mastermind is that if you can get somebody to get you uplift and inspire, but more important, give you the tools and strategies you can implement to shorter the time to go from point A to point B, that's precisely one of the most important lessons I have. And I can give you from all the years that I've been having multiple coaches, from executive coaches, business coaches, life coaches, and so on and so forth. Now, which perspective is true? Going back to what is true in general, right? The saboteur might tell you this circumstances is bad. The sage might tell you this circumstance is a gift, no matter what that is. Well, whichever you believe, it will come true. It will come a fulfilling prophecy for you and your life. Now, this is important for us to know that positive intelligence can lead, and it is backed up by research, to higher salary, to help in negotiation, fewer sick days. Doctors who have shifted to a higher positive intelligence score make accurate diagnosis even 19% faster. Students who have shifted to a higher PQ perform significantly better on math tests. There is even changes on our physiology and biology, enhance your immune system, lower your levels of stress hormones, lower your blood pressure, better sleep, and a smaller likelihood of having hypertension, diabetes, or stroke. Which is important at the end. Sometimes we talk about mindset and thought processing, but you need to take care of your physiology too, right? You need to focus on your health, because if you're not healthy, it's going to be very challenging for you to implement any meaningful change. What I like about positive intelligence is a very simple operating system that works on anyone. If you're feeling negative emotions that are consistent, persistent for you, you need to stop because you're in saboteur mode. You do some exercise to quiet the saboteur and activate your sage. What I love about the positive intelligence framework is that we do it through an app. So therefore you have that opportunity to do those exercises on your own every day and build that sage muscle that is going to be building that inner wisdom and turning down these saboteur to whispered levels. Assume the sage perspective that every problem can be converted into gift or opportunity, and use the powers of the sage. Those are empathy, curiosity, creativity, calm, and the more important, clear-headed action. Is it really possible to just shift from saboteur negative mode, inner critic, to a sage response, inner wisdom and positivity, even in challenging times? The answer is yes, but will depend on how much you have practiced, how much you have built this mental muscle strength. Because lasting positive change requires insight. Indeed, you need to understand the concept, but require 80% of your mental muscle, meaning how you're going to implement all these tools into your life. This is a big signing worm for most. Avoid the comprehensive trap. Some people feel like because they read a book, because they went through a course, things are going to change. This is being well backed up by research. Most people will go back to the behaviors they were having before they went into this online course or this event or these books, because understanding is one thing, but implementing is completely other things. Remember, doing the same thing over and over again and expect a different result, that's the concept of, or the definition of, insanity. Once again, success requires intense initial practice, and what we usually suggest is around 15 minutes daily for about 6 to 8 weeks to start building that positive sage muscle. In general, again, 6 weeks of duration implies the positive intelligence program. Through the app, you're going to have access to your mental fitness journey for an entire year. And you can know and get into more details at the Doctor's Journey. I'm going to share with you exactly how we do it. I'm going to say that you can reach out and knowing more about positive intelligence at thedoctorsjourney.com. When you go to coaching programs, there is a tab for positive intelligence. We can guide you to all the process, how to download the app, how to get the positive intelligence book, and how to start doing the implementation of it. We do a little bit of a small group accountability meetups so we can hold ourselves accountable for the practice and how we're experiencing all the changes through all this journey. We offer subscriptions to the Positive Intelligence program at the Doctor's Journey, where I also have my own standalone coaching program called Revitalize MD. That's my one-to-one program. But once again, we also offer the Positive and Intelligent coaching program that once again is about building your sage muscle and turning down your saboteurs through a series of exercises that you can learn to implement into your life very easily and simple. And is driven by an app. I like about that because that nudge, that prompt of doing those exercises, it helps you increase their chances of really go through a meaningful change as you do it. Remember, once again, beliefs are based upon our recurrent thoughts. One of the things that sometimes we fail to acknowledge is not just about what are the steps or the task that you need to implement in order to reach your goals. But sometimes I like to reframe it in a way like, what are the behaviors or routine that you need to start doing or stop doing in order to get you to where you want to be? There is always opportunity for growth, no matter where you are on your career, on your life. whatever the journey has taken you. I'm all for constant growth, and that is called the infinitive game, right? So you keep changing the rules of the game, so you keep growing and growing. Always there's something new we can learn. One of the things that amazes me about the world that we're living at is that even though we might have some skill gaps, you can easily fill that gap with courses, with coaching. Remember, you're going to be the average of the 3 or 5 people that you might connect and relate and spend time with. So relationships are crucial. And this is another topic that at times becomes challenging to talk about. It's not just a matter of what relationship you need to build in order to experience this meaningful change that you're seeking, but which one you need to get rid of. Because believe me, energy drainers, as I call some of this connection, when we're talking about family, it becomes more challenging even, but sometimes it's necessary if you really want to change. This is from the book Tiny Habits. Behaviors happens when motivation, your abilities, and a prompt, something reminding you to do it, converge at the same time. I'm going to share with you, this is from Dan Sullivan and Benjamin Hardy, the 4 freedoms that we should be striving for: time, money, relationship, and purpose. But the 4 C's that can get you to those 4 freedoms are your capabilities, your knowledge, your ability, your confidence. By confidence, I want to break it down in 2. Well, one thing is most physicians are fairly confident about their skill set. We're good at our craft. We spend so much time through training to take care of patients, and you're really good at what we do. But what we lack at times is self-confidence. When we talk about change, we're talking not only about what you know, who you are, but who you can become, and believe that you can be that person. That is where the things becomes more challenging for some. That's what you're here for, listening to this message, and just the fact that you're here brings me a lot of grace and gratitude. But you need to have the courage to make decisions. Finally, you need to be committed to it. And when you get to these last 2 is when things becomes more challenging. Going back to see a lot of physicians that they know that they need to make a change, but they never take actions toward it. That's what I'm here for, to inspire you. I'm going to leave you with a couple of tools that I think that might be extremely useful for you. This is another very simple tool. You are going to define, upon having some mindfulness experience, take your time, do a thought download, do some meditation, and define what is a 1-year outcome. Listen, I'm not using the word goal, but outcome. I love to see it that way. Every day, for the next 66 days, you're going to just in a piece of paper, digital journey, whatever is available to you, you're going to write 3 actions that you did today that get you closer to that outcome. Then you're going to write 3 things that you're grateful for this day. Then you're going to write 3 wins, even if it's a minimal win for the day, that make you closer to your outcome. That usually help you keep the momentum, keep you inspired towards what you want to do. 1-year outcome, 66 days of digital or standard pen and paper journaling, answering these 3 questions. I call it the 3 rules of 3, and you will see the massive change that you can acquire. Remember, being grateful is crucial. Be grateful of everything that have happened to us, have helped us to grow, improve, and even overcoming the challenge. You usually change for good and better. It just depends on you. This is my invitation for today. Cultivate your authenticity. Let go of what people think. Self-compare. Let go of perfectionism. Remember, comparison is the thief of joy. Play and rest. Let go of exhaustion as a symbol of productivity. I see a lot of physicians that are in there. And even self-worth. The more you work, the more you feel like you're better or you're more successful. That has not been the case. In fact, I can tell you that now I work less, but in reality, I'm doing the stuff that I enjoy doing and have fun with. That's something that to me has been so amazed by. Gratitude and joy. Let go of scarcity and fear of the dark, of the unknown, of being uncomfortable. I like to focus on meaningful work, deep work, instead of just shallow multitasking work. Let go of self-doubt. I'm supposed to be this. No, build, design that life that you want and you're seeking.